Critical Role announces a world tour and possibly spoils Campaign 4 in the process. Travis has a fireside chat with the fans, and Elijah Wood's returning for a new Lord of the Rings movie.
Mr. Frodo's not going anywhere without me.
Welcome to Tabletop News Tuesday on the Character Sheet. Today we're talking some serious Critical Role Campaign 4 spoilers in their new live show world tour announcements. The Cosmere RPG team teases an epic Stormlight game, and Elijah Wood's returning for a new Lord of the Rings movie. Before we dive into all of that, please take a moment to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help us keep these news videos coming. And then, let's dive into the news.
It's about damn time.
Critical Role dropped a new video announcing their live show world tour in 2025 to celebrate 10 years of Critical Role, including 2 shows in Australia and 3 here in the States. But did they also drop some serious spoilers for Campaign 4 in the process? The live shows will each be unique, with there being some kind of crossover between the 2 Australia shows, but their show in New York City will be The Wedding of Jester and Ford, more on that later. Their Chicago live show will be their version of Dimension 20's Time Quangle, with the cast playing one of their characters from the various different campaigns picked by the audience. And the Indianapolis show will be the first Daggerheart live show set in Exandria. Several big takeaways in that video, and let's start with the fact that Ford and Jester will apparently survive their mission on Ruidus and make it back for their wedding. That kind of takes the possibility of an apocalypse-level calamity off the table as well, although there are certain workarounds that Matt Mercer could use in the event that something like that does happen, like an alternate timeline or them being thrown into a different world, but it seems very likely now that they will be surviving Campaign 3. Next, Exandria is being adapted for Daggerheart. This almost certainly confirms that at the very least, we will have a monthly Daggerheart campaign in 2025, with Exandria becoming changed enough by the events of Campaign 3 to now be a Daggerheart-based world, which also raises the possibility that Campaign 4 may not, in fact, take place on Exandria. But the D&D main campaign, if we still assume that there will be a split Daggerheart and D&D campaign next year, could be on a new world entirely, with Daggerheart left to explore the last nooks and crannies of Exandria in that campaign, while the main D&D campaign has a entirely new Matt Mercer created world to explore instead. And finally, the founding cast was mentioned several times in the accompanying article from Variety talking about all of these shows, and nowhere was Robbie Daymond mentioned. That may confirm that while he could certainly be back, he has not officially joined on as a permanent cast member for Season 4 at this time, and was really just an extended guest star for Campaign 3 after all. That could change, but for now at least it looks like Robbie fans will have to keep their fingers crossed that he'll be back. So are you prepared for a Daggerheart campaign in Exandria, or a Critical Role campaign that doesn't take place on Exandria at all? Because according to these little spoilers dropped in the tour video, that could be the future of Critical Role.
You wanted live shows, and you're getting live shows.
And speaking of changes to Critical Role, Travis Willingham had a fireside chat on Beacon last night, where he mentioned that plenty of other surprises were on the way for The Legend of Vox Machina and the Mighty Nein animated series, saying the cast wanted to tell a new version of the story and keep even the hardcore fans on their toes. So it appears that as The Legend of Vox Machina goes on, it will just keep changing more and more, basically fully embracing its role as an alternate universe take on the original campaign, while still arriving at mainly the same places.
But we've also told that story. And I think for us it's really interesting if we can keep those that feel like they know exactly what's going to happen guessing.
Travis also talked about some potential changes in the Mighty Nein animated series, saying that there were aspects of Ford's life that he knew about, like his birth parents, that have never really made it into the show. So we can expect a deeper exploration of some of the lore and the background of Ford, and also potentially a darker, more twisted Ford, as Travis started talking about the concept of a dark Ford showing up in some form in Critical Role, one who had never thrown away the bond with Uk'otoa. So expect a pretty interesting Mighty Nein animated series when that drops as well.
Dude, we could have gotten Dark Ford, y'all. Serpent riding, Seamaster, Fjord.
Travis also fielded several questions about his EXU Calamity character, Serret, aka Pinch, aka the one who survived. From the way Travis was talking about Serret, it seems like we may actually see more of the hard-boiled bird detective in future episodes of Critical Role or in the animated shows. As Travis has pointed out many times, that the animated shows and the campaigns are going to start interweaving more and more now that they were not trying to do a one-for-one retelling of their actual plays. And hey, we know Bolo survived for a solid 100 years or so after the events of Calamity, so maybe we could finally get a follow-up to that conversation.
What do you mean Machine is a bag?
Yep. I'll be back. Hood up.
Brotherwise Games has revealed the existence of a new project set in the Cosmere called Epic Stormlight, which appears to be further along than even their Super Boss Monster 2 Kickstarter. While posting a video talking about the late pledges for their record-breaking Cosmere Kickstarter opening up on BackerKit, in a related note, we can't wait to see how much more money that project winds up making now, the team at Brotherwise gave us a look at a chart from their newsletter, which revealed the name and progress of this Epic Stormlight project. While we await clarification from Brotherwise Games on just what Epic Stormlight is, a lot of rumors are suggesting this could be an epic fantasy board game, one that has been semi-publicly playtested under NDA at major events this year. Given the success of big fantasy board games like Gloomhaven and Frosthaven in recent years, something in a similar vein but based in the world of the Stormlight archives would make a lot of sense. But until we have confirmation from Brotherwise, we'll just have to wait and see what this mystery project winds up being.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Elijah Woods had some very interesting comments about the new Lord of the Rings prequel movie, The Hunt for Gollum, saying that he was excited for the new movie and that he'd actually love to come back to his role as Frodo for it if possible. Speaking to Inverse, the Lord of the Rings star said, quote, "I am excited. I am obviously a fan of the creative team. I'm invested because it's the same creative team behind Lord of the Rings. It's revisiting that character, giving Andy a movie to direct. There's no better person to shepherd that particular movie than the person who really created that character and knows that character through and through. It just feels like getting the band back together in a really cool way for a really unique piece." Elijah Woods also went on to say that he would love to return as Frodo in some fashion for the new movie, so don't be shocked if Frodo appears for a brief cameo to possibly set up events in the film when it releases sometime in 2026.
I'm going on an adventure!
And finally, Dungeons & Dragons has revealed their new DM screen to go along with the 2024 Dungeon Master's Guide, featuring some very unique art and a completely changed layout. One of the big changes has been a concerted effort to put the most constantly needed tables and info on the outer panels, so it can still be seen by DMs using a laptop or tablet to run their adventure, which can often block access to the center two panels of a DM screen. So the rightmost panel now contains travel rules, cover rules, and weather rules, for example, and the leftmost panel contains all the conditions characters and enemies can be afflicted with. They have also increased the font size for added legibility, so the team is really trying to make this new DM screen the most functional DM's aid yet. Now, the art itself is also a big departure from either the realistic style of the normal 2024 D&D books or that simplified, stylized look of the alt covers. It appears to be somewhat divisive, as many fans in the comments were hoping for an alternate art version of this DM screen after seeing it, but we do have to say we appreciate that it's a brand new look for a brand new DM screen. But what do you think of the art on the new DM screen? Let us know if you love this new look or if you were hoping for something different in the comment section. So what was your favorite story in this week's Tabletop Tuesday News Rundown? Let us know in the comments, and please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.